Hey everybody, what's up? It's Patrick. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever it is, staying safe, staying healthy, staying well. We're going to do a nice little quick practice today. We're going to get into some strength, some core stuff, and do a little nice stretch after. So it's just one of these practices that you can go to when you're busy, when you've had a full day or you have a full day of activities. Know that you can start or end the day with this one and that you'll feel good after. So that's the path we're going to be on. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get to it. Let's go ahead and start in child's pose. Hit the hips back. Let the arms stretch out long. Let the hips get heavy. And you guys can see here that my tailbone is tucked underneath most likely, and maybe yours is too. It's a perfectly good place to have your child's pose. Another place I like to take it, and you probably heard me say this before, is with the tailbone slightly lifted, so I feel as if my pelvis is kind of like spilling forward, or the top of my hip bones are spilling forward onto my femurs, tops of my legs. It helps me bring a little bit more length into the lower back, helps me breathe a little bit more. And you notice I'm not as deep into the pose. It's a bit more of a blend between frog pose and child's pose, but it's a place I like to be in my practice. So maybe you want to try it out as well. But again, any child's pose or just introverted position where you feel a nice closed off, simple energy in your breathing, in your body, and in your mind. Creating a framework around wherever you were before and coming into this space now. Three more breaths here. Really simple. And then go ahead and come onto your hands and knees. As you get there, as always, circle the shoulders over the wrist just a few times here, letting everything warm up. And in my classes, I really like to emphasize making sure that my body feels good before I begin. So having a proper emphasis on the hands feel good, shoulders feel good, arms, spine begins to kind of get acclimated into the equation. Because as we get into the thick of the practice, we begin to ask a lot of ourselves, and we want to try and balance that out as best we possibly can, with a sense of preparedness so that we can be mindful and also present in the tasks at hand. When the hands begin to feel good, elbows, forearms feel good, upper arm bones and muscles feel good, go ahead and step back into your plank pose, and we'll just kind of start to get into the thick of this guy. So push into the hands a little bit more, feel a grip through the fingers, lengthen the collarbones out just a touch, and then drive the heels back in space. All of a sudden, you're much more integrated. You're really a part of the practice. And then go ahead and roll back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. And as you find your downward facing dog, go ahead and walk it out a little bit. Bend elbows, bend knees if you'd like. Shake shoulders and hips. Find a nice little sensation to moving around. Try and thread some energy through the lower back, mid back, upper back. You're just kind of allowing some organic space here. And then go ahead and inhale, lift the right leg all the way up. And on the exhale, bring the right knee over to touch the left tricep. Create that connection. And then lift the right leg all the way back up to the sky. Take the right knee over to the left wrist. Lift the collarbones up. And then reach the right leg all the way up to the sky. Bring the right knee over to the left tricep again, creating this deep crossbody action. Land the right foot by the left thumb. Lower the left knee down. Hop onto your fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest up. Drive the left hip forward as you push the right heel down, as if you're trying to pull the left hip forward with the right heel. Push the fingertips down. Step the left foot to cross behind the right. Drive the left knee into the right leg as you fold forward, melting over the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Even if it's just settled, just try and lengthen the lower back here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach the hands all the way up to the ceiling. Stretch as long as you possibly can, get tall. Try and squeeze the glutes by pushing the left knee into the right knee. Exhale, fold over the legs. Step the left foot back as long as you possibly can. And even as it lands the first time, you can wiggle it further back. Keep the left knee lifted this time. pull the heart through. Use your inhales to lengthen your lower back a bit more. Really feel this in the front of the left hip. Drive down through the right big toe. Create just a little bit more lift, a little bit more elevation. And then plant the left palm down next to the right foot. Roll to the outer edge of both feet. I know it's a really tight position, but stretch and reach your right hand up. As you play the outer edges of the feet, see if you can stretch through the fingers just a little bit more as you grip through the palm. Lean into your back body just a touch more. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, right hand finds the floor. Push into the palm, step the right foot back to meet the left. Inhale, lift the left leg up, any capacity. On the exhale, left knee comes over to touch the right tricep. Stabilize the shoulders. Inhale, sweep the left leg all the way up and back. On the exhale, left knee sweeps down to touch the right wrist. Again, stabilize the shoulders. Feel this low position. Feel your core engaged and active. Left leg lifts all the way up and back. On the exhale, left knee over to right tricep. One more time. Round the spine to make that available. And then land the left foot by the right thumb. Drop the right knee down. Pull the chest forward again. Drive through the left heel. Feel the scissoring action in your legs to create elevation through the spine. Use your breath here to get longer and taller. And just play the left big toe actively. Create more lift through the right hip. One more inhale. On the exhale, right foot steps behind the left, crossing, so pinky toe sides of the feet are touching. And then melt down over the legs. Should feel like a nice stretch here through the right hamstring. Even if the right knee is bent and it's pushing into the left knee, you can still feel that stretch because, again, the pelvis is allowed to spill forward a bit. Inhale, halfway lift, open the heart. Exhale, fold, melt down over the legs. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Create length, active glute stretch through the fingers. Just see if you can get a little bit taller, a little bit more open, a little bit more elevated. Exhale, fold all the way down. As the fingertips land this time, step the right foot as far back as possible. So again, even as the right toe lands the first time, really feel the ability to slide further back, push into the right toes. How strong can you get in your right leg? Really feel a lift and an elevation there. Allow the chest to lengthen just a bit more. Feel rooted and firm in your foundation. Trust yourself to hold this long, narrow lunge position. Feel the left hip pulling in, the left knee pulling in, the right knee lifting up. And then plant the right palm down. Roll to the outer edge of both feet. Long side plank variation. Stretch through the left arm. Lengthen through your spine here, even in the twist. Let the movement come from your hips. Breathing in here, getting a little bit longer, a little bit more open, a little bit more elevated. On your exhale, left hand to the floor. Look forward, step the left foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to your plank pose. Hold the plank or take a push-up, lower and rise. From there, lower the knees until they almost touch the floor. Lift the tailbone up towards the sky here. Open the heart, and then exhale, round into the upper back body. Inhale, bring your chest out to neutral. Shorten the stance a little bit if you feel like you can't push off the toes. I was not as connected to my feet as I would have liked to there, and sometimes that happens. So if you need to adjust, feel free. Float the right foot off the ground. Bring the right knee to touch the right wrist. Rise onto the left fingertips. Maybe bring the left hand to the chest. Flirt with the instability here. Keep pushing through the right hand, right thumb. Give it your best go. And then bring your left hand to the floor. Let the right toes land. Bring your left knee up to your left wrist. Push into the right toes. Again, feel the drive through the right foot, through the left hand. Rise onto right fingertips. That could be plenty. Or bring your right hand to your chest. And just holding here. Finding this engagement through the core. Strengthen the shoulder. Strengthen the left hand. Left arm. Breathing for 3, for 2. On 1, right hand to the floor. Left knee goes back to meet the right. Good thing the right hand and the left leg are rested. So you can float the right foot up. This time bring the right knee up to the right tricep. Try and keep the left knee as low to the floor as you can. Engaging the core, rise onto your left fingertips. Holding here. Again, really keep lifting the right knee up. In fact, try and take the right knee wider and higher. And then lift the left hand off the ground. Be unstable here. This is definitely tough, but it feels like a good challenge. It's going to help you connect to your balance, connect to your strength. Be here for 3, for 2, on 1. Left hand returns to the floor. Pushing to the right toes. Left knee up onto left tricep. That's your first marker point. Really tilt the tailbone underneath so you can lift the left knee higher or squeeze the left hip flexor to create that lift. Rise onto the right fingertips. Take the left knee wider. Lift the left knee higher. Keep the right knee low. Lift the right hand off the ground if you can. Battling here for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, right hand to the floor. Step the feet back to your plank pose. Take an inhale there. On the exhale, lower all the way to the floor in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As the body lands, set the fingertips up wide, push the tops of the feet down. Inhale, lift the chest, open the heart. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Push the hips down, locust pose. Inhale, lift the heart. Lift the feet, lift the hands. Squeeze shoulder blades onto the back body. Vacuum the belly button up in towards the spine just a little bit more. Keep stretching through the toes. Find your elevation. And then reach your hands forward. Take the inhale. Exhale, pull elbows back to hips. We have 3 more like that. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, pull elbows back to hips. Try and keep the chest lifted. Keep your gaze constant. 2 more. Inhale, reach hands forward. Exhale, pull elbows back. Last one. Trust your feet. Stay connected to your legs. Inhale, reach the hands forward. Exhale, pull back. Shoulders squeeze the spine. Release. Let your energy settle for a moment. Maybe drop an ear to the floor. All of a sudden, we're doing challenging work. The body's more active, more present, more connected. Place the hands on the ground. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. Rise into your plank pose. Roll back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. On the exhale, right knee over to left tricep, touch. Inhale, right leg lifts all the way back up. Right knee to left wrist, sweep down, touch, control the shoulders. Right leg lifts all the way up. Right knee to inside of left arm, so the right foot can land by the left thumb. Lower the left knee down, pull the chest forward, opening the heart and the front body. You can keep your fingertips down here or use your inhale to stretch the hands all the way up. Create length, lift, and elevation. Breathing in here. On your next exhale, hands to the floor. Step the left foot behind the right, crossing the ankles. Fold over the legs. And this time as you get here, walk the hands over to the right side. Try and keep the left hip pulling away. You should feel a nice stretch through the left leg, through the left side body. Allow yourself to meander across. Slowly return to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Push the knees together to create a change in your pelvic position, even if it's subtle. Exhale, fold. Keep the pelvic position change. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Open the heart. Active legs stretching through the fingers. Exhale, fold all the way down. Step your left foot back as long as possible. Bend your right knee more. Imagine that you're trying to trace your left heel towards the back of the mat and the right knee towards the front of the mat. Keep reaching the right knee forward. Keep driving the left heel back. Breathing in here for 3, for 2. On one, hands to the floor. Step back, 2. Downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to your plank pose. Lift the right foot off the ground. Lower to chaturanga. Rise to plank. Right knee touches right tricep. Reach the right foot back as you lower to chaturanga. Rise up to plank. Right knee finds right tricep. One more time there. Lower chaturanga. Right foot reaches back. Rise up. Right knee, right tricep. I lied. We might as well do one more. Reach the right foot back. Lower chaturanga. Rise up. Right knee, right tricep. Create the connection. Let the right foot step back to meet the left. Knees and forearms drop. Look forward. Inhale, pull through, upward, facing dog or low cobra. And exhale all the way back to downward, facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts. On the exhale, left knee sweeps to touch, right tricep. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee down to the right wrist. Create the connection. Left leg to sky. Left knee to inside of right arm. Let the left foot land by the right thumb. Lower the right knee down, hug the left hip back as the left knee pulls middle, and then begin to lift the chest up and out. So you're creating all of this space. Remember, you can keep the fingertips down. You can keep the back toes tucked. You can also stretch up through the hands. Lifting. Get longer through the fingers, more elevated. Use your breath here to create your space. Holding for 3, for 2. On one, fingertips to the top of the mat. Let the right foot step up and cross to the outside of the left, pinky toes touching. And then as you get there, meander your hands over to the left side. Take your breath into your right rib cage. Really feel as much space there as possible. And then slowly walk back to center. Bend the knees. Tilt the tailbone up to the sky. Inhale, halfway lift again. Feel your pelvis spilling forward. Allow the collarbones to lengthen. Create your space. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Push the knees together. Open the chest, open the heart. Create more space. Exhale, fold all the way down. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Bend the left knee deeply. And again, just feel that scissoring action here. So the right leg is very lifted, the left knee hugging to the middle. Your core is engaged. Your tailbone is lifting up. And you're just staying rooted in your foundation. Try and not let the left knee go left. Keep feeling it, trying to line up with your left hip socket. And then see if you can stretch the left knee forward. The right heel goes back, the left knee goes forward. Create connection and control within your core. Feel the work in your legs. Hold for 5, for 4, 3, 2. On one, hands to the floor. Step back to your downward facing dog. Lift heels, bend knees, try and tilt the tailbone up to the sky a little bit. And then roll forward to your plank pose. As you get there, we have 4 of these push-ups. So lift the left foot up, lower chaturanga. Left knee, left tricep as you rise to plank. Lower chaturanga, left foot stretches back. Rise up, left knee, left tricep, touch. Reach the left foot back, lower chaturanga. Rise up, left knee, left tricep, touch. Reach the left foot back, lower chaturanga. Rise up, left knee, left tricep, touch. Reach the left foot back. We may be doing a bonus one. Rise, left knee, left tricep, touch. And then let the left foot find the right. Knees and forearms drop, look forward. Inhale, pull the body through. Upward facing dog. Push the hips forward. Feel some of the space that you created in those long lunges. And then roll back downward. Facing dog. Nice. Shorten the stance just slightly. Really good work there, you guys. And then rise onto the tips of the toes. Bend the knees. Sit the hips all the way up to the sky. And then from here, keep on the tips of the toes. Keep pushing the hips up in space. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Put all the weight into your hands. Rise onto the toes more. Push the hips up more. And then drop the heels down. Fold. That opposite hand catch opposite elbow. Release. Walk the hands out in front of you. Just enough. Push into the palms. Lift heels, bend knees. You're going to take 5 little hops here to bring the feet to the outsides of the hands. Those 5 hops could just be like feet to outside, feet back. It could be like these little quick moves, right? It could be floaty like handstand. Well, wherever you are, you have 10 seconds to make it happen. So going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. As the feet land, the hips sit nice and low. The chest lifts up. Keep pulling the knees apart. Try and lengthen your spine. Feel your space there. And then sit all the way down to the floor. That was kind of a clunky landing. I hope yours was a bit smoother. Plain and simple, we're just going to lower down and hold low boat pose. Okay? So find your low boat. Legs long, active, straight. Again, if you have diastasis or something, you can bring your heels to the floor. Push the low back down a bit more. Create that level of control. Holding here. If you want more challenge, reach the hands above the head. Try and bring the thumbs to almost touch the floor. And see if you can just hold this space for a casual 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up, bring the knees into the chest. Let the toes touch the floor, lengthen the spine. Good. Then bring your hands, fingers pointing away from you behind the hips. Push through the palms, push through the heels, drive the hips up to the sky, opening the front line of the body. Create more elevation here as you push through the palms, active in the glutes, lifting through the chest. And then sit the hips down. Be on the tips of your sit bones here. Lift the chest up. And again, you can use your fingertips to support you. You can let the legs be long, but try and not round your lower back. Your best possible posture, your most lifted, Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. Fingertips can support you. And again, the feet can lift, but if the feet lift and the tailbone tucks, just walk the feet a little bit longer or try and take weight off of the heels. If you're in the right place, you'll really feel a ton of engagement and control in the core. So see if you can lift up a little bit more here. Let the feet float. You're only here for 10. Long, low back. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place the hands down. Reverse tabletop pose. Excellent work. Drive the hips up. Squeeze the glutes here. Really create more extension through the front hip. And exhale, release. As you get here, bring the right shin forward, pigeon pose. And again, if you would like to make it a bit more like a deer pose, you could bend the right knee a little bit more. Left knee comes to the right foot, folding across. Or you can make it a bit more like your classic. And by classic, I mean the pigeon pose you've most likely practiced. Variation, right? So just set yourself up in a way that feels good. Nice long spine. And allow the pose to be buoyant for the first few breaths. And then we'll sink into it. Find your sense of steadiness, your sense of ease, sense of lightness. In our practice today, it was about so many different little micro movements that created the challenge, that created the awareness, that created the effort. If you could tap into those, if you had the awareness to do that, amazing job. And if it only clicked a few times also, honestly, amazing job. None of this stuff is easy. It takes time. It takes consistency. And you're doing the work, and give yourself thanks for that. Give yourself thanks for showing up and for being prepared and giving what you had to give. And that's really what I mean by being prepared, is that you're being honest with your effort. You're being honest with what you have to give. Hold here for about 4 to 5 more breaths. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. And all you're going to do here is switch your side. So the right foot steps back and the left foot comes forward. Adjust as you need to. Try and be as symmetrical as possible, which is such a funny thing to aspire to, because, again, no matter what, you'll brush your teeth with one hand or the other. You'll eat your food with one hand or the other. You'll carry your child with one arm or the other, more often than not. But in this journey where we're seeking balance, symmetry is part of that balance, and giving yourself that opportunity to work towards it, even if it's not a realistic goal, it still is something that you're present and connected to, something that you're aware of. And it's like that classic phrase, showing up is half the battle. I really think along with showing up, awareness is really, kind of another part of that showing up. You know that the right thing to do is showing up to the moments of your life, showing up to your relationship, showing up to work, showing up to all these kinds of things, but really giving yourself that opportunity to not just show up, but to be aware when you do. Allow yourself to linger in this position a little bit. Let it feel nice. And again, especially if you're a bit stiffer, nice is such a subjective phrase, but releasing tension to me is something that has always felt good, even if it's a struggle. And then from here, roll on to your left hip. Swing your right leg around and find just a simple seated straddle and fold over in between the legs. And this will be our last pose of the practice. So you can linger here for a little bit. Consider this to be the child's pose of the beginning of our journey. Let this posture, this closed off position, be the finishing of the journey. If you have a pillow, you could put it in between your legs, rest your forehead upon it. Bolster, of course, block, of course, blanket, of course, all those are great options as well. But just again, let yourself drop in, close off, find a sense of ease, find a sense of kindness. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. As always, thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. Have an amazing rest of your evening, morning, afternoon, wherever it is for you. Be safe, be healthy, and be well. Namaste.